Hi there, my name is Carl Kwan, and this is Social Media Strategy. This presentation is brought to you by two of us, Liam Lusk and Carl Kwan. We are Korea Business Central Ambassadors, and there is our contact information for you if you wish to contact us. But please wait until the end of the presentation because we've got some really great information to share with you and some really great strategies that we think will really help you and your business. Now, the most important first step is keyword research. Why is this so important? Well, you have to know what people are searching for when they're looking for you or your business. Without that kind of information, you have no campaign from which to build. You have nothing from which to start. So you need to know what people are searching for. For example, people might be looking for Korean wine wholesaler. That's something they would search for online. You have to know that in order to target this particular group of prospects. Or it could be best PR firm Seoul. It could be even that specific where they're asking for the city and the best at that particular job or industry. Now, good keyword research can get you onto page 1 of Google. And of course, Google is not the only search engine in town. We have Yahoo and Bing and several others as well. But the key here is to remember the good keyword research will get you those high search rankings and get you noticed by your prospects. Next, you're going to need something else as well. You're going to need a blog. Now, a blog is quite different from your regular website because a blog will actually help you to communicate and interact. It's so key now to have this kind of communication and interaction with your audience, with your prospects. It's what causes us to have trust and to build a relationship with your particular clients and prospects. So key to social media is the trust and the relationship that people feel with a particular company or a person. Next, you're going to want to build an email list. This is really important part of any kind of social media campaign is to have an email list. The reason why is so that you can keep in touch to continue building the trust and relationship that you've established on your blog. Now, this will allow you to send information and send great content to your list. However, you do have to avoid spamming. So in order to do that, you're going to need an opt-in. You're going to have to get people to opt in by filling out one of these particular forms. They look usually something like this: signing up for a newsletter or asking people to opt in order to receive your communications through the email. Then you can send them stuff without having to worry about spamming them, which is a really good thing. But you're going to need to give them something valuable first, or they're not going to just give you their email. How many of you would actually give your email address to someone if you didn't know that you're going to be receiving something valuable in return, some great information, or you had to join a particular group or a list, but you wanted something, right? You're only joining because you want something. So what you could give them is something like this, perhaps a free report. You're an expert in your particular industry. Demonstrate that. Give people the top 10 publishing tips, or maybe give them how to get your product on TV. Whatever it is, make sure it's high value and great content. Otherwise, your credibility is just going to start going down and down. Now, once you get your email list to start growing and you think, you know what, I can manage this. Guess what? You can't. If you have 100 people, maybe no problem. 1,000 people, 10,000 or more, it's a big problem and you're going to need to keep everything organized. How do you do that? Well, you're going to need an email management service. An email management service will allow you to send your emails without having to worry about spam because your subscribers have opted in to receive your email communications. This is really essential and you need to have some sort of email management service. It will also allow you to do any kind of split testing. So you can send a certain type of email to one part of your list and another email to another part of your list. So a very easy way for you to control your messages and your email marketing as well. So What are some services that we recommend? Well, two of the ones that we found are the best are MailChimp and Aweber. MailChimp is free up to 6,000 subscribers, after which time you have to pay, and Aweber is a paid service. Both of these are fantastic and highly recommended. Now, there's something else that's really great about having an email list. It's that you've now got a sales funnel with that list. People have now entered your sales funnel. So what does that mean exactly? Well, it means that now you have to give them some great relevant information in order for them to stay subscribed to your list. So what kind of information? Well, tips or newsletters are really great sources of information that people would love to get from you. That way you can show your authority, you can show your knowledge, and you build that trust and credibility with your list. What you want to do though is you want to make sure that you communicate regularly with your list. So it could be daily, it could be weekly, it could be bi-weekly. We wouldn't recommend going more than a couple of weeks without sending someone something because they forget about you. Now, the really great thing is you can now market and promote your products or services to a targeted group of prospects. This is huge because once they become paying customers, you know that a paying customer is someone that you can sell to a lot easier than someone who has never bought anything from you before. Now, what you can then do is take your tips or your newsletter and get them out to as many different types of social media outlets as possible, such as Digg or Delicious or even StumbleUpon. This will really get your message out to a lot of people and get you noticed by the search engines. However, we're not really done yet, so I'm going to show you something else that's really great too. And I'm going to show you how to crank things up a notch, or maybe several. But how are we going to do that? Well, we're going to take everything that you've done and turn them into videos. So how important is video? Well, on July 16th, 2010, Nielsen released a report about June 2010, now just for one single month. In the US alone, there were 10.2 billion, that's billion, videos were streamed in the US alone. That equaled 136 million different people watched some sort of online video. They spent approximately 195 minutes a month. Now, to put that into perspective, that is approximately watching The Lord of the Rings once a month. Each person watched approximately 75 different streams. So that means they're watching 75 different types of media online. Online video is absolutely huge. You absolutely must have some sort of YouTube presence. You've got to get yourself a YouTube channel. Because there were 100 million views on YouTube in June 2010 alone. In 1 month, 100 million views. That's a lot of people watching a lot of videos. But what kind of videos are you going to put up onto YouTube? That's a huge question and a huge problem for a lot of people as well. The first type of video would be something where you introduce yourself. You want to talk about who you are and, of course, your services. The second type of video, there are actually two other types that we would recommend. The first type would be FAQs. These are questions that you would get from your customers or your prospects on a regular basis. Maybe 10 of these types of videos would be fantastic. Keep them no longer than 3 minutes. Minimum maybe a minute and no longer than 3 minutes. And the second type of videos would be SAQs, or should ask questions. These are questions that people should ask that is great information that you should be providing to people that'll help them to make a better decision. Now, remember the newsletter and the tips that I told you about before that I said you should always send out to your clients and prospects on your email list? Well, I want you to make those into videos. They don't have to be difficult. They can be very simply made videos. You don't need any kind of fancy equipment or anything like that. In fact, you can just do what I'm doing right now, which is a screen capture video. You can even make the videos on your cell phone with your iPhone, for example. And the video qualities are really great on the iPhone, by the way. So make simple videos out of your newsletters and tips And then what you want to do is you want to submit them to video sites like YouTube or Vimeo or Dailymotion or MetaCafe, Rever, Blip.tv, Viddler, Howcast, the list goes on and on and on. But the point is you want to get these out to as many of these sites as possible. The reason why is because you're going to include your website URL, your website address. So http whatever.com. You want to include that. And the reason why is because that all gets linked back to you, back to your site. So the more places that you have your videos and content, the better. You have them out on different social media outlets. You have them on these different video sites. All of these will link back to your site. Now, what does that actually do? Well, it gives you brand visibility because you're seen in all these different social media outlets. It gives you an instant recognition. It will also help you with the search engines. So as we mentioned, you can get onto the first page of Google or any of the other search engines with a lot more ease if you've got a lot of these links out there, because that's what the search engines like Google will look for. They'll look for backlinks to your site, which indicate to Google that you have some sort of authority, that you are some sort of important person or important business in your industry. Then that creates that credibility and authority with your prospects. They'll see that, hey, these guys are everywhere, especially if you are dominating the first page of any kind of search rankings, which is possible. That creates instant credibility and authority because people will say, look at them. They are on the first page of Google. They've got all this information. They must know what they're talking about. So to summarize everything, keyword research is vital before starting any kind of social media campaign. Make sure you get that blog up so you can have a way to communicate and interact with your prospects and clients. Build up that email list of targeted prospects and paying clients. Keep everything in order with an email management service like MailChimp or Aweber. And make sure you send great relevant content such as tips or something else in a newsletter or a video. Make sure you get that stuff out to different social media outlets and video sharing sites. Then put videos up onto your own YouTube channel as well. To start, make an introduction video, then make several FAQ and SAQ videos and make sure you get those out to the video sites too. Remember, they all link back to you, which means that will create authority, credibility, high search rankings, and builds your brand online. Thank you very much for watching. Please let us know if you have any questions. On behalf of Liam, I'm Carl Kwan. Talk to you again soon. Bye-bye.